Cheryl Lowe, said, "The classicals of Greek and Rome are not optional. If we skip them, we have no hope at all of teaching literature with any real understanding or meaning." Why are books and great books and good books there in the classical to educate our children? Why not just what we've been doing over the past 80 years for textbooks, generalize facts and bits together. We can read history that way, but why books?
Yeah, number one, they're boring textbook. But number two, I think the whole idea of a story, a narrative, is hugely important.
Yes.
And I said the other day in social media, I said, one of the reasons I believe in Christianity is because it has the best story.
Yeah.
And so I think that textbooks are shooting information at you. And information is different from knowledge. Knowledge really requires some kind of context. And the best kind of context to have is a story, right? History, properly told, is a story. It's got a context. And that's what enables it to be a moral lesson. Same thing with literature, because there's several things you need to know, and you can only know these things if you have a narrative context, a story. And you got to think about doing an action. It was an action moral. Is it an action done to or with the appropriate person at the appropriate time, in the appropriate place, for the appropriate reason, and in the appropriate way? And the only way you can tell what is appropriate is in some narrative context where you've got everything in front of you and you've got the characters and all this stuff. And there's no way to answer those questions outside a story. And so I think if we want to be able if we want to have a moral education, which is probably the most basic aspect of education, we have to do it in some kind of story form. We have to have it in literature and in history to understand what even morality is, not much less to know how to be a moral person ourselves. And so I think there's a real, what's the word I'm looking for here? There's a real attitude on the part of educators today that the humanities are not important. That's the first thing that gets dropped to do test prep or whatever else you're doing in school. It's always literature and history. Those are the most important things in the curriculum, right? You got all the other, you got the math, you got the languages. Those are all important, but it's history and literature. That's where we are learning what our civilization is. And it's where we are learning what morality is. And I just think that if we don't keep those things, then we're not doing ourselves any service.